What's going on, guys? This is Lior with Compass out of Boston. And in this video, we're going to be talking about whether right now is a good time to buy a home, our fall 2020 edition. So let's get at it. What's going on, everyone? This is Lior, and I'm with Compass out of Boston. And in this video, I'm making my fall 2020 edition of whether it's right now is still a good time to buy a home around the greater Boston area. Now, before we get into that, two quick things, as always. Number one, if you guys haven't already subscribed to my channel, smash that subscribe button for me. I put out tons of new videos every single week talking everything, what it's like to live in different parts around Boston, tips on buying, selling, investing, whatever it is. So if you haven't already subscribed, give me a subscribe. And number two, if you guys are thinking about doing anything with real estate around the greater Boston area, whether it's buying, selling, investing, whatever it is, I get so many calls from you guys watching my videos, and I absolutely love it. So if you're thinking about doing anything, hit me up on email, phone, text, Instagram, whatever it is, and I will help you out. So let's jump right into today's content. So I'm kind of revamping the video I made a while ago for the fall 2020, and just basically talk about whether right now is still a good time to buy a house. There's a lot of things going on, obviously, in the fall 2020 with the world, so I kind of wanted to make this video as an update. And I'm going to talk about three different factors that I think you should consider. And we're going to go right into it with factor number one, which is the interest rates. The interest rates right now are so incredibly low. I feel like every time I make a new video, the interest rates go even lower. I don't know how this is possible, but they just keep getting lower. I just had someone get pre-approved at 2.6. I'm actually buying a house for myself, and I just got pre-approved at 2.6. It's like unheard of rates. I mean, it's basically free money, and the way I view it, at least. So, interest rates are obviously helping buyers a ton. And what that really means to you, right? What does a low interest rate mean for you? Well, if you wanted to, step up and buy more real estate, you could, right? Because you could basically buy a higher price and basically meet a certain budget. If you had a certain price point that you wanted to stick to, let's say 400,000 or 500,000, with a lower interest rates, obviously your monthly payments go down. So it just becomes a lot more affordable to either buy that same priced house that you were looking at, or if you wanted to stick to the same higher budget, you could buy an even more expensive house. So it just gives buyers a lot more to work with. Again, I think these are historically low. I can't imagine them getting any lower, but who knows? I mean, I don't want to eat my words. But obviously these super lowest interest rates are helping out buyers a ton. So, right now is an amazing time to lock in a rate, especially if you get anything in the twos. I mean, it still blows my mind that that's happening. Now, factor number two is it can still be a really good time to buy a house, especially depending on the exact area you're looking at. Now, I've talked about this in some of my other videos, but as you may know, there's currently kind of a trend going on where there's a lot of people moving from the city to the suburbs, right? Because coronavirus is going on, a lot of people are working from home now, and they want more space, more exterior space, like yard space, patios, and don't necessarily want to be crunched into the city, which is fine. So the suburbs are really, really competitive right now. But if you're looking potentially at getting into the city, like I am actually moving into the city personally, you can find some pretty good deals. A lot of the neighborhoods around Boston or within 15 minutes of Boston have slowed down relatively dramatically. Prices have not really dropped, but all of a sudden we as buyers have a lot more leverage. We can go in, and instead of having to deal with 10 offers, it could be just you and the seller, maybe one other party. You don't have to go crazy over asking like we did, just last year. We don't have to drop contingencies. You can keep all of your contingencies. So buyers right now in the city have a lot more leverage. I just had another buyer negotiate down a condo within 10 minutes of Boston by $20,000. Again, last year, that would have just been unheard of. So again, depending on the exact pocket you're looking at, if you're going to be looking in the city, there might be some additional opportunity. If you're going to be looking in the suburbs, it's going to be competitive. There's obviously a lot of people trying to move there right now. But again, if that's something you need for your lifestyle, go after it. And finally, factor number 3 that you guys might be thinking about is the actual market and what's going to happen within the next year. Obviously, Corona has really has impacted many different markets. The equities market have kind of been a little bit more volatile. I do not have a crystal ball of how the real estate market is going to play out, but there is plenty of data already showing that Boston's housing market has been incredibly resilient during this whole coronavirus pandemic. It's actually, it really has retained value. Values have not dropped. In some areas, prices have just actually completely exploded, like the suburbs. But again, I think right now, I still think Boston's housing market is incredibly resilient. If you see my other videos, you've seen me talk about why, right? I mean, the economy here is just so diverse. There's so many different types of industries, from healthcare, education, tech, biotech, and I'm sure I'm missing a couple others right off the top of my head. But the point is, I think it's incredibly diverse. So I think if you're buying for the long term, whether it's for the next 3 to 5 years, I think it's still a really, really great investment. I think it's going to continue to be resilient no matter what happens across the country. Boston has just got one of those superb economies where we kind of do a little bit of everything. So if that's something that's of interest and you're thinking of buying a house and sitting on it for at least 3 to 5 years, don't try to flip right now. But if you're thinking of sitting in it for at least a couple of years, I do think there's really good upside as well. So hopefully that kind of answers some of your guys' questions and kind of shows you why I think it's still a great time to buy. Again, I am personally buying a house for myself right now. I think right now is still a fantastic time to be invested in the Boston housing market. So if you guys have any questions, any thoughts, any comments, whatever it is, shoot them below. And like I said, guys, I get so many phone calls from you guys who watch my videos, and I absolutely love it. So if you have any questions, hit me up and I will help you